Hello and welcome back to the Golf Diaries. My name's Mark and this is our new VW Golf GTI Edition 40 Club Sport, the new channel car. Come on, I'll show you around. Here she is in all her glory. So an Edition 40 Club Sport, just a very quick history lesson, and then I'll take you and show you around the car. So the Edition 40 is, as the name implies, the 40th anniversary edition of the Golf GTI, and this is a 2017 model. It's basically a Club Sport model, so an upgraded in terms of power output, in terms of the aero package, and I'll talk about all these things a little bit more as we go around the car. So standard form, it's around 260, 265. Depending who you listen to, you get different power outputs for these things. But yeah, 260, 265 horsepower, and then you have a 10-second overboost. So basically, you put your foot down in the higher gears, and for 10 seconds, you get an extra 30 horsepower. Now, some people say that's a bit of a gimmick, but actually, I find it quite cool. It's ideal when you want to overtake, because that's the kind of speed you're going when you go to overtake. Certainly around here on these country roads, you don't normally get a huge gap to overtake, so you've got to take your chance when it's safe to do so, and this is allowing me to do that really, really well. Great fun, handles exceptionally well. Yeah, I'm in love. I'm in love with my car. So she's going to get pampered. I've got lots of plans. Stay tuned. At the end of the kind of walk round, I'll talk about the plans that I have for this. Some are what I just like to do. Some are unfortunately been forced upon me by some things that happened to it in its past. But I'll go into all that detail in a second. Now, it's a limited edition. Depending, again, who you listen to, there was 1,000 initially, and some other people say there was about 450. No one really is sure. I think the official story is that VW allocated 1,000 to the UK, but not all 1,000 actually got sold, because it was around the time the 7.5 GTI was coming in, and they were kind of concentrating more on selling the 7.5. So not all of the 1,000 apparently got sold. In terms of how many are left, according to the How Many Left website, there's about 200 of them left. I don't know how accurate that is, but anyway, but yeah, pretty rare. Obviously, this is the sister of the Club Sport S, which is even rarer. And the Club Sport S, as you may well know, is the car that held the Nürburgring record for the front-wheel drive cars back in 2017. And yeah, quite a fun little car, that one, but they are rarer than a dodo on a rocking horse. I don't know where that came from. You know me, I come up with these random sayings, but anyway, visualizing a dodo on a rocking horse now. I should be talking about the car, not dodos. Anyway, onto the car. Lots to tell you about. So I'll take you for a walk around the car now. Not scripted, so warn you, I might waffle. Nothing new there. So starting at the front. Always a good place to start. So down here, you can see the aero additions that were made for the Club Sport. That has real aero effect apparently. And when we get round to the rear spoiler, I'll just go into that in a bit more detail, because it'll be a bit more obvious when we get around there. But so yeah, it's quite a nice looking front end, very distinctive from the other GTIs of the era. So as usual, you've got the red striping through the lights, which just set the white paint off really nicely. So I'm trying to walk as steadily as I can so the camera doesn't shake. But down here, you've got the Brescia tyre wheels even. Now these didn't come like this. These were originally diamond cut. Now I would imagine what's happened here is when the retailer took this in, when the dealer took this in, it was typical diamond cut wheel worm and white worm and stuff like that. So they've refurbished it, powder coated it black, and yeah, I'm not sure about those. We'll talk about that in a second. So moving on, obviously your red GTI badge. Now, down here, oh, that's an interesting story. That's the story for another day, but there is a little bit of damage down there, which I'm going to have to look at and obviously protect it, rust protect it and so on. I don't know whether the camera's going to pick it up, but I can just about see it. But then again, I know what I'm looking for. So that's a subject for another day. So moving on here, this is the wrap. Got a wrap on the mirrors, the roof and the rear spoiler. It's a little bit dull today, so you can't see, but there's a really nice fleck in that, so reds and greens and things like that. Again, I'll discuss that in more detail in a few minutes. So moving along, obviously your Clubsport graphics on the side. I mean, the wheels have just been refurbished, as I said, so they're in pretty much perfect condition. So moving around the back, so you've got the tinted rear lights, which I think look really nice, certainly on this white, pure white paintwork. And then moving in closely to this spoiler. Now again, I'm not sure it's going to pick up the fleck, which is a shame. But as you can see, obviously you've got kind of daylight through there. Now the whole thing with this spoiler, it is an extended spoiler, as you probably know, with the Clubsport over the standard GTI. So along with what I showed you on the front, this is an actual aero package that was fitted to the Clubsport. And I'll go into more detail on that in another video. But basically anything above 75 miles an hour, and it just helps hunker the car down a little bit more and improves handling. So there you go. Not a lot of good for us in the UK, of course, officer, if you're watching. I'll never go 75 miles an hour, obviously, he says. Fingers crossed. So there you go, another wheel down there. You'd expect one there, wouldn't you? One on each corner, always helps. But yeah, again, perfect condition, not really a lot to show you there. And then we're back to the front. So let's take you inside. So you've got the leather trim, and then up here, with it being a limited edition, you've got the edition 40 plaque. So this is number 246. If you're of a certain vintage, you're probably adding an 8 to that and singing a nice little motorway song. If you know, you know. So moving into the cabin before I start singing, we don't want that. Alcantara wrapped steering wheel. The only criticism I've got of this entire car so far is I love the Alcantara steering wheel, but it's quite thin. My wife's TT's got a slightly chunkier steering wheel. I'll be doing a video on that very shortly, so stay tuned. And I just prefer the feel of a slightly chunkier steering wheel, but that is a really, really nice steering wheel. I really do like it. So, as I said, you've got the leather interior with the red stitching, just sets it all off really nicely. Just bear with me whilst I get into the car. So in here, you've obviously got all the infotainment system and the DSG gearbox. I'm a huge fan of this gearbox already, I've got to say. It's my first DSG equipped car, and I can't see me going back to a manual, and I'd never say that before. I never thought I'd say that before. So really, really impressed with this. Obviously, this is the 6-speed DSG as opposed to the 7-speed, which came in the 7.5, I believe. And I think there are times when I would definitely agree that a 7th gear would be advantageous. But no, I really like it. And of course, the young hooligan that still lives inside me loves the DSG farts, especially when you're in sport. We'll never grow up. It's boring growing up. And there you go. So all in very good condition in here. The mats down here, I've got the rubber mats in because obviously this is my daily driver, but I'll show you the mats that come with it in the boot. If they are the original mats, kudos to the previous owners, because they're absolutely perfect condition. So, you know, if the previous owner watches this, thank you very much. You really have looked after this car well, apart from the little incident, which we'll talk about in a second, on the sill. So moving back outside the car. Again, I don't think this is going to show up in this light, unfortunately, but the roof is wrapped, and it really is quite spectacular. And that's not overstating the fact. When the sun hits it, and you've got blues and reds and greens and yellows, and you know, The purist in me says perhaps this ought to be painted gloss black, and when I finish showing you around, I'll tell you what my plans are for this car going forward, and it does include doing something with this roof. Yeah, that is the car in a nutshell. Just very quickly, underneath the bonnet, obviously where all the magic happens, you've got your 2-litre turbo engine, which let's be honest, has been around in the VW lineup for quite some time now in various guises, and I really rate it. I think it's a fantastic engine, and obviously it has lots of tuning potential as well if you're so inclined. Now, forgive me, by my standards, I'm not happy with how clean or how dirty this engine bay is. I haven't had a chance to detail the car yet. There is a full detail video coming very shortly, full machine polish, the whole 9 works, probably a ceramic coating on there as well. And I will be detailing the engine bay as well at that stage. The only thing I'm definitely thinking of doing pretty quickly, probably get Awesome GTI to have a look at it for me, is I am thinking about changing the air intake, maybe putting the Racing Line R600 air intake in there. Seems to be quite popular. A family member had one in one of his cars for a while and rated it very highly. So definitely at some stage, I don't know how soon that will be because obviously finances, etc. We will be adding that to it. I don't want to do stage 1, stage 2, anything like that. It's quick enough as it is. Frankly, if I go stage 1 or stage 2, that will be the end of the Golf Diaries because I'll lose my license. But seriously, officer, I never go anywhere near 75 miles an hour. I said that earlier and I say it again. I'm a good boy, honestly. So what are my plans for this car? I have many, seriously many. The spec of the car means that I don't have to do too much in here. It's got Dynaudio in, which is a really, really good sound system, I have to say. Quite happy with that. It's got the Discovery Pro sat-nav package as well, and it's got all the bells and whistles that you can possibly want. It's got dynamic chassis control as well, just in case you were wondering. So yeah, it's got everything I could possibly want. So in terms of stuff I do need to do or want to do, as I already mentioned, I'm keen to put a better air intake under the bonnet. But then that roof. Now I've got to be honest. When I first saw the wrap, I mean, to be brutally honest, when I first saw the wrap and the sun was on it, I thought the dealer just hadn't dusted it. I thought it was covered in dust. But when I got close to it and saw just quite how pretty it was, I can't think of a better word. Pretty. I kind of liked it, and it has grown on me. It does look great in the sun. I just wish it was a sunnier day today and you could see it yourself. Keep an eye on my Instagram. I'll have it on there. But I am a purist. The wrap as well, I believe, is about 2.5 years old. So I'm probably going to have to start thinking about what to do in terms of changing it because already it's beginning to get a little bit loose in some of the corners and so on. So I'm going to have a decision to make pretty soon in terms of whether I just stick another wrap on it or whether I go and get it painted gloss black. Now, underneath that wrap, the beauty of a Clubsport is that there's a very close-knit family of owners. And so I've managed to kind of exchange messages with a couple of the previous owners. There's one previous owner I'd really like to talk to. Stay with me, because if you're watching me, mate, he, she, don't know who you are, you're a muppet. So seriously, I'm coming to you. But before I go off on one, they damaged my car before it was even my car. How dare they? But yeah, having exchanged messages, underneath that wrap, there is some damaged paint. It looks like someone had tried to put an aftermarket black painted roof on there and just done a really bad job. It's probably the same muppet that did the damage to the sill, but don't assume, but chances are it is. So yeah, it's a decision I need to make. I think if I can get a decent price on getting it painted, I'll get it painted. Failing that, I'll put another wrap on it for a couple of years until finances allow to go the full hog and get it painted. Other than that, I am thinking about changing the wheels. I love the Brescia wheels. I just think they look better when they're diamond cut. I understand the reason why these got refurbished, and the dealer did the right thing in doing so. But yeah, again, I'm a purist, so. But I'm actually thinking about staying in the Volkswagen family, but going with a Pretoria, going with a black Pretoria, probably a Pretoria replica, so that it's not made of cheese, and you don't have to worry every time you go over a bump that you're going to buckle your wheel. But Pretoria owners of the world, you're either agreeing with me or hating me for saying that. But yeah, so we'll see. I live in Wales. The roads aren't great, so I need to give some thought to that one. I mentioned some damage to the sill. Now, it appears that said Muppet, they might be lovely people, I shouldn't assume, but it's a bit of a Muppet thing to do, decided to jack the car up in the wrong place and actually crushed the sill, I should say, just below where I'm sitting here. Now, this was several years ago, so obviously it's been through several MOTs. The person who bought it off said Muppet, I have exchanged messages with on Facebook in the owners group, and they did a repair. They got a body shop to repair it. And to be fair, it's a half decent repair. If you don't know it's there, it's not readily apparent. If you want to scroll back in the video and have a look, you can just about see right at the front of the sill where these on Mk7s are known to have rust issues. It's just a little bit wavy, but the body shop did a pretty good job of it. Now, all I can do going forward, obviously where metal has been creased, it becomes more prone to corrosion. So I'm going to get the wheel arch liners off in the very near future, give it a good clean, completely underseal it, put lots of cavity wax in, but absolutely pump that sill full of cavity wax, put rust protection down there, put rust converter down there, whatever it needs just to really protect it. My long-term plan is just that. I do not want to sell this car. I do not want to sell this car. I've got a 25th anniversary. I've now got an edition 40. Who knows? In years to come, I might add a 30, a 35, a 45. Yeah, if my wife's watching this, she's shaking her head very quickly. But anyway, I've got no intentions of getting rid of this car. So it is going to be invested in. It's going to be pampered. It's going to probably be one of the most pampered club sports in the country. And believe me, there's a lot of pampered club sports in this country. But yeah, please stay around. If it all sounds like fun, join me on the journey and let's make this car really stand out from the crowd, and hopefully I'll get to see you at some of the shows, because that is the other thing. This is going to shows. In fact, at time of recording, I'm going to a Cars and Coffee with it tomorrow. Awesome GTI. That may be an expensive trip, but that's a story for another day. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Any questions, any comments, please let me know. If you are one of the previous owners, please drop me a line in the comments below. And if you are the person who crushed that sill, I am only joking. You are a Muppet, but I hold you no grudges. Accidents happen. So yeah, by all means, say hello as well. I won't call you a Muppet again, I promise. Until next time, take care. Bye for now.